Welcome to Parenting Successful Teens, the podcast that cuts through the overwhelm and stress of this phase and offers parents simple, practical, cognitive, science-based strategies for keeping their teens on track. Join Master Coach and real-life mom, Allie Irwin, to talk about real teens, real problems, and the skills it takes to raise successful adults.
Hey, everybody. This podcast is being recorded a couple of days after Christmas. And my daughter is home from her internship with Honda, and her dad are out in the garage changing the oil, or I don't know. I can hear an air compression wrench going, so I don't know what's happening. And I'm in my office cleaning off my laptop because my business Christmas present to myself was a new laptop this year. A big wave of nostalgia hit me because this laptop is the last laptop that we have that either of my kids have ever been on. When I'm working with parents about, their transition from their kids being home to their kids being away at college, like most of those parents hire me right around, that summer or that fall, right after they leave, because that's an expected time for parents to go through like that big life change. But what I actually have found in my own experience is there isn't one goodbye. There are lots of goodbyes. So this fresh wave of nostalgia I have is because this laptop is a piece of their high school. It's the last machine we have in the house that has term papers on it. You can probably hear my voice. I'm a little teary now just thinking about it. It's the last laptop that has their resumes on it and their scholarship applications and all of the things that we did together while they were in high school to prepare them for, their lives as they move towards independence. So what I want to offer you today is the idea that if you get hit with multiple waves of sadness, not just when your child goes off to school, but maybe they're making a choice that you don't love, or maybe they're making a choice you do love, but you're kind of mourning that this choice is a move towards a future that's different than the past that you've loved. Maybe that choice is they're now super into their friends and they don't want, to hang out with their parents in the way that they used to. And maybe that wave of nostalgia hits when, you were planning to go see a movie with them and now they're going to see that movie with their friends. Or maybe that wave of nostalgia hits because they can't come home for the holidays. Maybe this was your first holiday where you didn't have everyone under the same roof. My own son lives in the Netherlands, so he doesn't come home for Christmas. Like, it's just not practical for him to be home for all the holidays or for us to be there. What I want to offer you is if you are having one of those moments, this is a great time to develop some sort of self-compassion process, some kind of way to not shuffle past those feelings of sadness too quickly, but to actually feel them and then let them go. Because in my experience, what actually happens, like when I opened up the laptop and started cleaning off the hard drive, it almost for a second took my breath away to see all those term papers, to be dumping all of those term papers into the, machine's trash can. And to not criticize yourself and say, oh, that's silly. Oh, this is what's supposed to happen. Like, who wants those papers anyway? Because I'm not really mourning the term papers. What I'm really mourning is how much I loved having them here and how much I miss them still in a completely healthy way now that they're gone. Like, I miss all the chaos at dinner time, and I even miss that morning chaos. And if you're a parent and they're still living at home and you have a hard time waking them up, which I did with one of my kids, like, you might not believe me, but someday you will miss that. And so when you get hit with that wave of nostalgia, The first step is to not write it off too quickly, to not rush past it, but to just take a couple of deep breaths in and feel your feelings physically in your body. Okay, for me, that feeling of like bittersweetness resides in my heart. Like it feels like warmth in my heart. To just take a couple of breaths and stay with it, and not to say anything mean to yourself. And I'm laughing because this seems like such a small thing to have a podcast over, but being able to physically feel your feelings. Okay, feelings exist on two levels. There's the thing we call emotion, which is how we label the feeling: sadness, anger, happiness, joy, embarrassment, all of those things. Those are the labels that we give the emotions. But feelings are also physically experienced in our body. That felt sense of anger, maybe that resides in your stomach. Like maybe that's a burning in your chest. Maybe it's a tightness in your shoulders. Maybe it's clenched fists for you. But your experience of the emotion is a physical felt thing. And the better you get at physically feeling your emotions, the less you'll be tempted to eat your emotions or drink your emotions or Netflix your emotions or any of the other things that we do to avoid feeling our feelings. If during this holiday season, you are hit with some big feelings, which you most likely are because the holiday season is a really intense time for a lot of people, what I want to offer you today is the suggestion to just take a second. Offer yourself some self-compassion. Do not let yourself say anything mean. If you hear yourself saying, this is silly, or of course, they're leaving. That's what's supposed to happen. Or don't make such a big deal. Like, don't let yourself say any of that. Say something kind to yourself, like, I loved having them home. Or it's okay if I'm tired. Or it's okay if I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, or just you're doing the best you can. Whatever you can think of to say to yourself that feels like kindness while you're physically experiencing that emotion in your body. You're noticing, okay, that feels like tightness in my chest. Okay, that feels like warmth in my chest, feels like tightness in my hands, whatever that is. It's kind of that two-step process, saying something kind to yourself and being a witness to your felt experience. What you'll notice is that emotion comes in like a wave and it comes out like a wave. And the whole process is like 90 seconds or less, usually. Okay. If we acknowledge our emotion, if I take a minute to take a couple of deep breaths and feel my feelings while I'm cleaning off my laptop, then I get to harvest the sweetness rather than get stuck in the sadness. Doing this process, especially if you have kids home from college, or if your kids are even more grown than that, if they're just back visiting from wherever they're living now, if you take a couple of minutes to really experience those emotions, then the other thing that doesn't happen is you don't forebode your own joy. Several of my clients over the Christmas holidays have talked about the idea that it's almost hard to enjoy their kids when they're home because they know that they're going to be leaving soon. And that goodbye that's coming feels so painful to them that they almost don't fully enjoy the present because it's like they don't want to enjoy their kids so much that it hurts when they leave again. When you get good at feeling your feelings and you know that wave of missing them when they leave won't hurt you, then you have more freedom to enjoy them while they're home. When you're not trying to pretend that the fact that they're leaving dishes everywhere doesn't annoy you, when you know you can feel that annoyance and let it go, when you get good at feeling that, then it doesn't stick around all day. And so that annoyance about the sticky countertop can just come and go. And then you can get back to feeling what you want to feel, which is enjoying your time with your family. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you're having an amazing holiday. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for this time together. I consider you family. And I want you to know that if you are having trouble processing your emotions, if you are feeling stuck or feeling tempted to eat your emotions or drink your emotions, or if you have spent any time in the car over the holiday season crying, I want you to shoot me an email, Allie@allieirwin.com, and let me know what's going on and how I can help.